So good morning, YouTube. Beautiful Monday morning. AJ Simmons here, and I want to tell you this. Why me? Why did this happen to happen to me? Why did this have to happen to me? Have you said that before? I know I have, but you have to understand this. If you feeling like why me, then you're not fully understanding how this thing works, okay? This thing called life. You gotta understand that it's supposed to be you. That's why you. If you were put in a certain situation, that means it was meant for you to be in it, because it's something in that situation that you either need to learn from or you got to go through in order to get to a certain destination. There's something going on where you have to go through that in order to get to whatever you're trying to get to. Go through to get to. Like, I remember when my house got broke in a few months ago, and I wanted to ask, why me? But at the same time, I kind of kept my composure because I understand that every time something happens, it happens for a reason. I know one of the reasons was because I've been ready to move away from the place that I grew up in, like, for a while now. And my fiance, she wanted to leave too. She wanted to leave just as bad as I do, but she was kind of like, well, let's wait for this, let's wait for that. You know what I mean? And I was kind of like, let's go tomorrow if we can. So once that happened, that helped to put a pep in our step to get more aggressive and starting to get ready to move. Another thing that I realized from that was I'm not doing enough, because I'm told by neighbors, and then I'm just looking at the things that the people took, that we can kind of tell that it was a younger person who took the stuff that broke in my house. And so my thing was, when it first happened, I was like, okay, I'm done with people. You know what I mean? Because I do a thing locally called Everybody Eats, where I try to teach the people that come from my neighborhood and my background. I try to feed just random knowledge, all, you know what I mean, as it comes, like how to buy a house, how to start a business, whatever the case may be. And so then I was like, you know what, like, all I do for these people, and I thought I was respected, I thought I was liked, but then somebody would do some shit like this. So you know what, from now on, nobody eats but me. That was my mindset after that, right? But when I reevaluated the situation and thought about the knowledge that I have about everything happens for a reason, then I realized, you know what, maybe it's because I didn't reach enough people. Maybe the person who broke into that house wasn't able to make it out to one of my workshops. Maybe it's because I'm not holding enough workshops. Maybe it's because I'm not going in the hood enough to go reach these guys. You know what I mean? So I had to reevaluate my thoughts on this whole thing. You know what I mean? And so that's why me. That's my point. Like, that's why me, because I'm not reaching enough people. You know what I mean? Like, you got to understand, every time something happens to you, you feel like the world going in, is always a reason. And then another thing too, I want to tell you this. Everything shall pass. Like, there's nothing new under the sun. You think about how many times over and over again in your past that something happened and you was ready to panic. Oh, it's over now. Oh, this is the worst it ever been. Oh, you know what I mean? You stress over so many things, and then a year later you don't even remember what the hell happened. A couple months later you don't even remember what happened. You don't went to God and said, if you could just get me past this, I promise I'd never do blah, blah, blah. And I mean, you stressing, you doing all of the stressing over nothing. It wasn't even that serious to begin with. You see what I'm saying? So that's why when something goes wrong, don't ask why me. Because it's supposed to be you. It wouldn't happen to you if you weren't prepared to handle it. It's just up to you to realize, what is the lesson I'm supposed to learn from this? What is it that I'm about to get to that I have to go through this? You see what I'm saying? If you're on a journey, you're going to have to go through some stuff in order to get to where you're trying to go. What you expect? What do you expect? When you got to leave and go from state to state, if you driving, don't you got to go through a tunnel? Don't you got to go through some traffic? Ain't you going to ride past an accident or two or something? There's going to be some stuff you got to go through just in order to get to where you're trying to go. Don't ask why me. Understand there's a reason for it being you. Now just go ahead and open up your eyes, see clearly, and try to figure out, okay, what's the reason why this is happening? Be accepting for it. Be appreciative about it. Be appreciative. That's what I said. I said be appreciative about your problems. Appreciate them, because it's something in that. There's a reason you're going through that. When I say I went through everything back to back to back, I couldn't believe. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I don't even do, like, everything I do, I try to do with good intentions. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, how in the hell could this possibly be happening to me? All of these things back to back to back to back. How? But you know what? Because it has to happen. There's lessons in all of these situations that I must learn. And and as time goes on, you're gonna see why. You're gonna see your progressions. You're gonna see your maturity. You're gonna see all of the things that was necessary for you to go through that situation. You know what I mean? And develop you into that person that you're supposed to be becoming. You're always becoming. And you just need to make sure that you're doing your job to learn from every mistake, learn from every bad situation. If you don't learn from it, they're going to continue to happen. And you just got to develop, man. Cultivate yourself and always be bettering yourself. Try to be the best version of you every day. So you don't have to ask, why me anymore? Instead, you can ask, why this? What am I supposed to learn from this? Alright? Because, think about it. Like Les Brown said, if not you, then who? Who else you wanted to happen to? You talk, why me? Well, who else you wanted to happen to? You know what I mean? What you want? You want somebody else to get in the car accident instead of you? That's kind of fucked up, don't you think? You shouldn't want it to be nobody else anyway. You got it. You can handle it. Alright, so thank y'all for waking up with me this morning. This is AJ Simmons. And thank you for watching, subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting. Email is aj@ajsimmonsonline.com. Check out ajsimmonsonline.com. And my social media is at ajsimmonsonline, except Snapchat, which is ajrichalready16. Thank y'all for sticking with me. Talk to y'all tomorrow. And by the way, if you got any suggestions for my Lunch with an Entrepreneur series, leave them in the comments, message me, email me, whatever you want. I'll reach out to whoever and try to get them on the show, alright? And look forward to that this Friday. Every Friday going forward, 12 o'clock Eastern, alright? So thank y'all.